Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to this new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. We're talking Star Wars, we're talking Andor, Season 1, Episode 11. Joining me to discuss, my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Hey dude, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm good, man, and you?
I am good, sir. Well, I'm full of flu, but apart from that, I'm good.
Yeah, well, yes. Feeling awful aside, I'm excellent. That's always a good way of putting it.
As long as I don't breathe in, I'm absolutely fine.
To be honest with you, I'm not in any pain at all other than when I breathe. That's good. Little thing we need to put out there to start then. So, Stefan's not well. Coughing and spluttering. There will be attempts at editing, but if anything sneak through, we apologise. Secondly, I'm recording in a different location today simply because it's freezing where I normally record and I cannot get the radiator to work. So I am in a different location and there are cats everywhere. So if at any point you hear a cat during this podcast, I apologise, but I literally can't do anything about it.
We love the cats, it's all good.
It's my daughter and just cats. Anyway, right. So with that all being said, apologies done. Mate, this is Season 1, Episode 11 of Andor. This is the penultimate episode of the season.
It is.
The title of the episode was...
Daughter of Ferrix.
Well, let's kick off as it is then. Cassian's mother has died.
I know. Heartbreak.
Or has she?
Oh.
No, this is just... I watch so much TV, so many films and stuff, and every now and again, and I've said this on podcasts and you always laugh, sometimes I am very much in danger of overthinking things. Like, it is massively a problem for me that I do that.
I love it though. I love it when you do, because you take me into like these little wormholes of things I would never have thought of, and then I'm sitting there going, they could have done that.
But here it is. Now, the thing we know about her is she was very much anti-Empire, very much a rebel at heart, wanted to stick it to them. She was also bright. She was also someone who knew, and probably would have known she was being watched.
Oh, yeah.
In my head, as I'm watching all of these people go in and out and everything like that, I think to myself, if I knew I was being watched by the Empire, if I knew all of that, what would be my way of getting away from it? Fake your death. That is a way, because you get taken out, if you like, in the stretcher. You're going to be cremated as per the custom on this planet, so you just basically slip away.
The cremation thing was pretty cool, actually. How they mix you in with the cement and mortar to make you into bricks to place on the wall.
Yeah, that was
cool.
I thought that was quite a great kind of custom thing. I like that. I like little details like that. But so it just kind of like occurred to me, I don't know why, but it just kind of occurred to me it's a possibility anyway. Something I don't think we should completely discount entirely. Yeah. But at the same time, odds are, really, she has passed away. And unfortunately, that is of course going to lead to, well... what I think is actually going to lead to is a large problem where everyone who's hunting Cassian is going to be converging on this one place looking for him, and whether he's there or not, like whether he chooses to show up, which I think he probably will, because that's how TV shows work. I
don't know. I'm half expecting like everyone, like the assassins are going to be there, the Empire's going to be there, everyone's going to be there looking for him. Yeah. And he's just not going to appear, and he'll be like, whoa.
There is part of me that would kind of like that. Part of me would kind of be like, smart boy, you know? But, I mean, I don't think he's aware. I mean, in his mind, he's square with the rebellion because he handed over all that money, literally only took his share when he could have flew off with the lot.
Yep.
You know, he killed the guy who was the traitor, said to her, like, look, I'm just taking my share and I'm gone.
Yeah.
So as far as he's concerned, he's squared away with them. He doesn't realise that they are hunting him because he can identify Luthen. So that is something he wouldn't be aware of. And also, I don't think... I mean, he'll be aware that the local guards were chasing him, because obviously that happened.
Yeah.
But he slipped back there once and away again. In his head, he's probably thinking, I could do that again. I don't think he's aware.
Not aware that the entire Empire is
are now hunting him. Yeah. Because the other thing, of course, is he was just in the prison system. So all it would take, although he was using a fake name, if someone's looking for him, surely they just check the pictures.
Yeah.
And the minute they see his face pop up, he'd be in trouble. So in his head, he's probably thinking, well, I can't be being hunted by the Empire that, severely.
And we can't forget, obviously, that our favourite side plot character, Cyril, is still after him.
Yeah, what is that about?
Honestly,
so
I just
that phone call, like the sergeant reappears to give him the info, and I'm like, so this guy's going to show up there as well. Like the ISB and everyone's going to be there, all these assassins, and then this guy.
It's just going to march in like he's mine. Hello, me first.
But don't you think it's like it is just a collision course for every story arc?
Oh yeah.
Even that bizarre one, is now completely. All of us are going to be converging on, on Ferrix, and it is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem.
It's definitely going to be It's got proper season finale vibes, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. But like I said, air quotes, Mother's died. Now, what did you? The droid's been like a really wonderful little character. This broken down, basically dying droid, that needs serious maintenance if it's going to survive.
Yeah.
The one thing that kind of happened in this is this droid shows pretty serious attachment and emotion.
Could never be a Jedi.
No, definitely couldn't be a Jedi. But what did you think about that? I mean, because I kind of love that little droid. Like really, it's just little voice, little beeps and boops. But I mean, R2-D2 used to emote. That droid clearly had emote. The way it would just sort of make a noise, it'd be like, if it was sad, or you'd know it. C-3PO unfortunately never shut up long enough for me to ever appreciate if he had emotions. Sorry,
True.
I'm not a C-3PO fan.
I don't think many people are. I mean, I classify him as more annoying than Jar Jar. So
yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, go on, do your Jar Jar impression.
Was a dark Sith Lord that no one knew about.
Oh man, don't you just set our audience on fire.
I love that. If you've not seen the theory stuff, look it up. The theory of Jar Jar the Sith Lord is hilarious.
Is
Jar Jar as a Jedi Knight, I actually think is a better one, but there is a Sith one as well now, which is hilarious.
Well, the Sith one is just like people have really put that together. Like, wow, you've really done a number there. Well done. But anyway, parking that because that's a separate debate. What did you think of the droid and the scenes with the droid?
I love that little droid.
Yeah,
he could go up there as my favourite droid. Just he's so cool and he's so cute. And it's just like he's almost like a toddler.
Yeah,
like the way he's kind of reacted to her going. And it's oh, come on, we're going back to mine. No, I can't leave.
No,
but
I can't
maybe
leave.
You could stay here as well. The way he does it was like, oh, the heartbreak.
It is heartbreaking.
Could you imagine if R2 could actually talk?
Yeah. I mean, R2 could actually talk. A lot of stuff could have been avoided. To be honest with you,
I mean that as well.
There's a lot of beeps and boops from R2 that I think C-3PO just didn't translate properly. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Oh, he says this is a princess. No, he didn't. He said it's your twin sister. Now, come on! Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that R2 was privy to that could have saved a lot of lives. That's all I'm going to say. And I think C-3PO screwed us all. C-3PO's the Sith Lord. There we go.
Yeah.
Someone put together that package. But yeah, it was cool. I like the droid and everything like that. We get to see yet again more evidence of the rebels watching. That you get the Empire and the ISB with the local guy, like, they keep applying for permits and I keep telling them no, like, who do they think they are? And the ISB woman, exasperated, is like, we want them to have a funeral. Yeah. You jackass.
It's like, what the hell are you on about? No, seriously.
Like, how thick are you? What did you... I mean, I was thinking of you when I saw Bix being interrogated again. Mate, how are you holding up?
She's not having a good time, is she?
No.
Man. I kind of expected that to be like a one and done. We'll see her get interrogated in the next scene. It's going to be her looking a bit shook up but out again. Nope, they're still... Like, the way she walks through the corridor and be held up and stuff, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, they are also basically now holding this doctor. Like, now, if I don't believe your answer, we're just going to have to get this doctor back here again.
And screw you over again, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's seemingly on the verge of a mental breakdown. Now,
I think she's past it. The way she was just staring at the wall.
Yeah.
I think she
ain't good.
No.
She isn't good.
She needs
they're showing her images trying to find Luthen.
Yes.
Now, fortunately, obviously, the images they're showing her aren't of him. So she's able to kind of be like, no, and obviously tell the truth.
So I was half expecting her to say yes.
Yeah, I did think that as well, because when she was pausing and taking a long time, I was thinking, is she calculating this in her mind of, if I say yes... Because this is obviously someone they're already aware of. If I say yes, then this guy might cop for it, but then the guy that I know is really kicking their ass goes free, you know?
Or the other option was she says yes, and they turn around and go, you liar, he's the guy outside. We know who that guy is. Yeah.
Yeah, time to get the doctor back again. So, yeah, she's in a bad way, and I really hope somehow we see her get sprung. But I've got to be honest with you, I don't see how that's happening at the moment.
No.
So we also head off to from Bix. We're talking about everything colliding on Ferrix, and one of the characters that's heading to Ferrix is the character who worked with Cassian to pull off the heist. She was in charge of it, and we've later learned is the cousin of the senator.
Yep.
What did you... I mean, there's several scenes. Let's talk about a couple of them. So the first scene is around the senator's daughter. Me and you had a little chat before we started recording. That girl they've cast as like the teenage daughter, she has got stink eye, giving my mother acting down tea. You know, like if I was her real parent in the real world, I'd be like, damn, you know, I'm not ticking my kid off again, because jeez.
The look she went, like, there's a couple of times. There's one when they're all sat at the table. She's with the elders, I think she calls them.
Yeah. She seems to be
the elders. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, she seems to be buying into her planet's traditions and stuff around how women should be and how women should act. Nothing's been said implicitly, but the fact that there's like betrothals and marriage kind of at a young age would suggest that they have a kind of patriarchal society historically.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously, you know, she is a senator, but from a very, very well-off family. And her cousin, you know, they're like, oh, you know, you never did any of that. Of course, we know she's a lesbian, so she wouldn't be taking a husband.
Well,
so,
true.
You know, would she be shunned by her society in that regard? I mean, I don't know. But what is interesting is her kind of shock at, like, why are you allowing her to do that? And she's like, oh, this isn't me.
Yeah, it's not me, it's not the father either.
Yeah, I know, and that was kind of where I thought it was going. It's like, oh, this is all down to her father. And then me and you would be like, again, that son of a bitch. But no, it's her. This is something she is driving.
Yeah.
But what I found like quite a powerful moment is when the two of them are talking and she's talking about the trouble she's in. You know, I was moving this money, I was doing this, and I got tipped off that the Empire are looking and they're gonna find it like it's any day, and I have a solution. And she is so she is close to tears. She is so emotional. You can see it because she knows her only solution is to have her daughter go through one of these betrothals with this guy son, and this guy's just using that as a way of legitimizing his family name. This is something that used to happen in human history, and so we're just seeing that played out in Star Wars very cleverly. But the fact that her daughter's so into that side of their culture, that sort of their history, you'd think it'd be almost like, oh, well, that's a relief. Great news, kid. I've got you a betrothal. But it's not that, because she is, she's thinking to herself, I'm dooming her to this kind of marriage, or I'm kind of
and as from
consigning
what we can see, the guy whose son it is kind of like a mafia sort of leader.
That's how he looks, yeah.
It's not really the sort of relationship
not the match,
you probably want your family to be involved in.
No, not the match you'd ideally pick out. I mean,
and then part of me was like, I was expecting Val to turn around and go, don't worry, actually, I've got this money built up, here you go.
Yeah. Unfortunately not. I mean, Val stole all that money for... There was that moment as well where she was like, everything was kind of in hand, and then that happened, and now I've got... And like, she's looking at her like, oh, yeah, that was a problem, was it? Like, damn, I did that.
Yeah, whoopsie. Yeah.
What did you think of the interaction with Val when she went to the shop?
Oh, now I'm really not sure on this. The assistant.
Okay.
I can't tell. Like, we're led to believe that obviously Luthen is in charge.
yeah.
Now I use the phrase "led to believe" because I'm watching the way that woman kind of speaks to people and operates, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not entirely sure anymore that is who is running this operation now.
Well, if you are, because he's going out and he is the face, he is going out and meeting people, he is doing stuff. He constantly, therefore, runs that risk of being captured, being killed. Mm-hmm. It makes sense when you are running a kind of guerrilla operation like this. You have to compartmentalize. Now, he and she appear to have the same knowledge base of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if he goes somewhere and something happens to him, she's able to, plan B in place, pack up and leave, and they don't... The rebellion doesn't lose a step because she's fully aware of everything he's aware of.
Yep.
Like a built-in redundancy, and then she would train someone else, to that same level, and that's how... always two there are. So that kind of works. Now, for me, in amongst this episode, probably, and I know you love TIE fighters, by the way. So the coolest scenes in this for me was that moment where Luthen, who looks like he's flying this clapped out ship, so he visits Sol Guerrera. We get a couple of great scenes between these two phenomenal actors.
Yep.
Where Sol is confronted with... Sol's paranoia in Rogue One is insane. And you see that again here. Like, his paranoia is just so much.
And Luthen uses it against him.
Luthen uses it beautifully to actually demonstrate his point. And this is why these two guys are great actors. Because you were like I was tense watching that.
Yeah.
I was tense, like, oh no, come on, you guys gotta get on the same page, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And then Luthen manages to use it and make the point so perfectly to him. He's like 30, and he just goes 30 people, and he's like, yeah, plus the commander whose name's gone out of my head for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, for the greater good. And it just, me and you discussed it on last week's episode when Luthen made this decision. It's like, this is perfectly pulled from history around when the Allies, broke the German Enigma code because they knew what the Germans were going to do at certain times but couldn't stop it because otherwise the Germans would know.
Yeah.
And this is it. You can't stop it because if you do, they're going to know you've got someone in the ISB. And he makes the point, he said, because they will then be paranoid about everything. If they win this little battle... we're back to an open field again because
they will kind of relax a bit more than no one's on to us, look what we're doing.
They're gonna be celebrating their wonderful victory and how clever they are and patting each other on the back.
Yeah.
He's absolutely spot on. But it is it's decisions I hope in my life I never have to make with people's lives, because it is you put a value on a life, 30 lives, 31 lives. it's a difficult place to be in, but ultimately, looking at it objectively from the outside, it is the right call.
Yeah.
And Soul sees that. But yeah, so Luthen's leaving there, and he's talking to, we were just discussing this, and they were having this chat, and this is when Luthen kind of hints that he's going to head to Ferrix as well, and she is not happy. She's like, no, there's plenty of bidders there. You don't want to be going there for that particular item. It just, too many people in there, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And then his communications get cut because the Empire rock up. We get to see a really cool ship, by the way, which is not one you see on a regular basis. This is a ship this kind of... I've seen, I think, in animated stuff before, but not in live action, so that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically cruise up to him, start doing like, we're going to do a check on you. He's got his computer system working overtime, like... Quick, find a transponder, an old one, But they think it's this clapped out ship, but of course, he's got it tricked out.
Man, he's got it tricked out beyond belief.
The countermeasures to the tractor beam was amazing. That was so clever. That was so good and visually amazing.
He literally just dumped a load of what looked like screws and bolts and stuff out the back of his thing.
Basically, like tiny. To me, it was like a million ninja stars just launched into this thing's tractor beam. They then launch TIE fighters after him, and he takes out 2 with a gun, which emerges from a ship which they weren't expecting.
Not going to be lying to you, I genuinely thought. Remember, he had that crystal, the kyber crystal.
Yeah.
Did those gun things not look like lightsabers hanging out of each side of the?
They did. They're like laser.
There's a little part of me that was like, I wonder if he's found a way to kind of use the kyber crystal into making... Yeah. Because the way they kind of cut through the top, I was like, that's like spaceship lightsabers. Why have we not seen this since?
That was like... Me and you have been watching Star Wars since we were a kid. It takes something for us to see something in Star Wars we've not seen before.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like, that's happened in such a cartoon, or that's happened in such... That's fine, but in live action, for me, that's the first time I've seen something like that. Loved it.
Yeah, no, I did. Like I say, it was that whole kind of... Like I say, something new, but wow. Come on, if we've got lightsabers on an aircraft, he wins hands down.
Yeah. He then, drops the hammer and bolts it out of there. And that ship's just left there. Like, these Imperial officers are like, what the just happened to us?
Mate, the look on that guy's face when he's at the window, just kind of looking out at the fact his entire big satellite tractor beam is in pieces. Yeah. He's got 2 TIE fighters just there smoking as they fall from the sky. And it's like, the hell just happened?
How did that go wrong? It's... But yeah, I kind of love that, but... You can imagine there's going to be a report written about that, so you can imagine that ship is now one Luthen's possibly going to have to ditch.
Yeah, can you imagine
which is really sad.
That report
really
going
sad.
back is going to be, what happened? This really old aircraft cut 2 TIE fighters in half.
Yeah. This clapped out ship destroyed 2 with a cannon, cut another 2 in half with what looked like lightsabers. Destroyed our ship's tractor beam with what looked like shrapnel, and then burst itself out of there in the hyperspace.
Yeah.
Whilst basically the pilot mooned us.
But it was a really, really old ship. So...
Yeah. And the guy was like, "Oh, should we let him go?" And he was like, "No, we need to practice." And I'm thinking, yeah, after this, man, you're probably going to think twice about stopping anyone ever again.
Yeah, because they had the opportunity to just be like, oh, no, it's legit, it's all good, it's just an all, okay, it's fine. No. Because
it was funny, because that's what I thought was going to happen, because he was like preparing all of this, and I was expecting like, oh, actually, we've run your code, you're fine, good day. And he'd be like, oh, alright, cheers.
But I've already hit the button now, damn it.
Yeah, like, chill out, everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did enjoy that. Cassian and Melch, we saw obviously escape the prison one way out.
Yes.
We saw them make the swim, we saw them make the land. Now we see at the start of this episode the sheer determination of the two of them to live, because you see there is a lot of Imperial activity, ships flying around and stuff, and to hide from them, they are like holding on to a cliff face.
Not a favourite pastime of mine, I must be honest. That wouldn't be something I would be volunteering for anytime soon.
I mean, Melsh is basically like, my hands don't work. You know, I'm gonna die. I'm like, and Andor's just like, all right, mate, just chill. I heard you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, stop freaking out. Just hold it together. It's fine.
Yeah, they've gone. Just stop telling me they've gone. They've gone. And the guy's like, okay, tell me they've gone again. They've gone. So. We kind of get a little bit of you can see why these two have formed a bond, considering what they've just been through.
Yeah.
From working on the table together to this, you know, this forms a bond without a shadow of a doubt. They rock up on, I think Andor calls it like a space hopper kind of ship, like a clapped out thing. He's like, can you fly it? He's like, I don't know, it's an old thing. They basically try and steal it. They get captured by these two aliens
in really sticky web things.
Who, for me, are kind of, I don't know. I didn't know how to take them, really. They were just kind of a little bit comical, because they obviously let them go and then agreed to take them somewhere. But at the same time, for a minute, it was kind of sinister. Like, oh my god, what the hell's happening?
I kind of took them as like two, like, almost like farmers or something who have seen the Empire like completely. He keeps going on about like they used to fish, but now there's no water here. Everything's contaminated. So they're kind of like people that obviously used to live the land, who are now struggling to live the land, all because of the Empire. Assumed these two were Empire, so it's like, he's going to kill you. So, I don't know what the other guy just speaking his random language, and this guy kind of like, oh yeah, you probably could kill him actually. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then something like, oh, you guys aren't Empire. All right, we'll let you go instead.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a sinister moment turned kind of amusing.
Yeah.
These guys do drop them off, and they go. Now, have they gone back to the planet where Cassian was arrested? I think they have.
They have done, yes, because he had to go get his briefcase.
Yeah, so he must have hidden that, and he's gone back to retrieve it.
Yeah, if we see in the scene where he's got the woman there, he's kind of got it above the toilet or the shower or something.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed, because of how long he'd been gone, that woman would have found it, you know?
I don't know. For me, I kind of get the feeling that room was a bit of like a B&B sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which means they don't do a very good cleaning. So their Airbnb rating is not high. Because clearly, hygiene and cleaning not good if they didn't spot the massive case.
Like a villa in Florida, my friend.
Yeah.
So they are there. Now, Melshi makes a great point. Now, Melshi's focus isn't on any kind of rebellion at the moment. He isn't planning to, you know, sign me up, I'm a soldier to fight the Empire. He just wants people to know what is going on. Because they soon realised that nobody knew they'd been rounded up. Nobody knew that they were just being forced labour forever. And so he wants to get the word out. And he basically says to Andor, our best chance is to split up, because one of us has to tell everyone what's going on. So they do split up. Andor gives him a weapon, and they leave as friends. We all know he's in Rogue One, so
it was one of those weird moments. I was like, oh, I hope they meet up again. Oh no, wait.
They do, and then they die together on Scarif. But so. Yeah, oh, buddy, yeah, you'll wish you never made these friends. Now, this just brings me to something I've seen a lot online, and I wanted to put it to you.
Go on.
What do you think they were building? What do you think the Empire have got them doing? All of these parts and all of these tables? Because I've seen two theories for this. One of them is twisted, like really, really dark, horrible theory. Oh. And another one is the one I think it is.
See, I was kind of going at where we're kind of based. I'm going towards Death Star.
So you think they're making parts for the Death Star?
Which is kind of where I would expect it to be, kind of looking at where the timeline is. And
that's the theory that kind of sits, I think. That's kind of the one that I've seen, and, you know, it kind of makes sense. They would need a lot a lot of labor for that. So creating these like forced labor camps to do it makes sense.
Yeah.
The other theory I saw, which I think is a little bit dark, is where, you know how they're all different floors and different shifts?
Yeah.
The idea that floor 5 builds them and floor 4 takes them apart again.
Oh my. Floor 1, build. Floor 2, take apart. Floor 3, build. Floor 4, take apart.
And it's literally, it's just pointless. There is no reason for it at all. They are literally just there, forced labour as prisoners, with no kind of, there's no purpose. And there's no leaving. There's no escape. There's kind of,
That guy who got put on the wrong floor, he walked in and went, hold up. That's got my name carved in it.
Yesterday. I built this yesterday and put my initials in it. What the? And then they killed everyone to cover it up. But like I said, it was just this kind of like, I saw that and thought, oh no, that's bad. No, it can't be that. It can't be that. No. I mean, I prefer them to be building the Death Star. You know what I mean?
Well, I know what you mean. However,
yeah, exactly.
That's brutal.
But mate, was there any other bits and pieces from this episode you want to talk about? Because I've gone through my notes. I think I've covered everything.
I believe we have spoken everything.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. No, it's always good when I've gone through my notes and I've not missed anything really obvious.
No, I think you're good. I'll be interested to see what happens in the next episode. Obviously, it looks like we're all going to be coming to a head quite a lot of different groups.
Yeah, big time. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it sadly is the season finale. Now, me and you have talked a lot about this. I'm really enjoying Andor.
Yes.
Like, really, really enjoyed this series. And me and you have discussed it. We've enjoyed it. The interactions we're having with fellow Star Wars fans who listen, they're enjoying it as well. But interestingly, this is the first show, Disney Plus exclusive show, which is being syndicated out to other platforms.
Oh.
And apparently, it's due to poor viewing figures.
Really?
So, in America, the first 2 episodes of Andor will be available this week on Hulu and FX, which is on various networks over there. So, it is the first show. No Marvel show is left Disney Plus. No Star Wars shows left Disney Plus. And I dare say there's definitely demand. I dare say there'll definitely be companies who pay a pretty penny to have the rights to show it all around the world.
Yeah, you think
but obviously
so.
Disney Plus, it's one of their main things. It's, why people subscribe to the service, the exclusivity of the content.
Very strange.
So,
because
I mean, don't get me wrong, those platforms are still owned by Disney, but it does just make the audience bigger. Now, perhaps in their mind they're thinking, if people are watching this on FX, watching it on Hulu, and they're not already Disney Plus subscribers, and they really like it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, not being funny, okay, so I get like a few bits and pieces off here from IMDb.
Yeah.
Feel free to sponsor us.
No.
And like the ratings, so this season 7.4, 7.3 were the first 2.
Yeah.
But from there, 8.6, 7.9, 7.6, 9.2, 8.1, 8.2, 8.6, 9.5, 8.7.
Yeah.
So the people that are watching it
are really
and not being funny, these have all got like 8,500, 6,000, 10,000.
Yeah, it's not small. It's not a small sample size by any means.
The
I've
latest
looked
one,
myself.
because we record it kind of the day it comes out, it's only got just under 1,000 people have left the feedback, which is sitting at 8.7%.
Yeah.
8.7 out of 10 stars. So the people that are watching it are enjoying it, clearly.
Yeah. No, crazy. I agree. And there's factors to this that I don't think a lot of the time Disney take into account. Like, so for example, a lot of their shows are 6 episodes. I think the longest one we've had is 10. This is the longest original content show they've done so far. There are some people out there who genuinely wait for these shows to come out in full, then will binge
the whole lot. Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of interesting from their numbers point of view what they do. But I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I mean, like for me, Here's the thing. If I'm not a Disney Plus subscriber, hearing about a show called Andor would not make me subscribe to the platform.
Yep.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, probably.
That probably would have got me involved, yeah.
Yeah, that, that all alone would have got me to go, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. But the fact is, like, I am subscribed to it, and I am getting this, and I'm watching it, and it is very, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to the season finale next week. We will be back, obviously, to discuss it and go through it and discuss about the season a little bit as a whole as well. So, look out for us next week. Until then, everybody, you will take care.
And may the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.